We gotta carve our own path. Yeah, come up with our own shit. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cover 3, episode 2.
Fire Lombardi.
Here we back. Here we back.
Here we back.
Here we are. And weirdly, I haven't drank today. And somehow that's how we start. All right, we're off to a rockin' start.
Here we back, baby.
Yeah, we're back. Week 2. Like I said 10 minutes ago, I feel much, much better. Let's get yours out of the way because it was Thursday. We can get your anger out of the way.
Please.
I kind of called it. We said after. It was a little slower pace. Kind of the beginning. I'll just let you go.
I don't know. I mean, I texted you an array of things throughout the game. A lot of emotions. I want to start with the positives, though. I really like the defense. Really like the D-line. Really like the secondary. I like the play calls, too. I think a couple of drop interceptions go our way and a couple of bad calls go our way. We're looking at a different outcome. It happens. I mean, to expect to sweep the Chiefs is pretty generous in our division. So I've had time to think about it, and I've calmed down a lot. I still don't think we're quite Super Bowl contenders. I think there's some glaring holes. Lombardi, this offense, we've been struggling. Herbert will throw us 3 touchdowns, and then we go conservative, and we go 3-and-out mode. We need to figure out our running back situation. O-line health is going to affect us all season now. Corey Linsley has tendinitis. I don't know. I'm able to take away positives from it now, but
aside from the game specifically, because it was 17-17, it was goal to go. I don't know if it was first, second, or third. But you had the game won. You outplayed them in the first half, even though for how much it seemed like you outplayed them in the first half, we would have liked the halftime lead to be a little more than it was. Yeah, I think it was only 7. Wasn't it only 10-3?
Yeah,
something like that. Very low scoring. And then that pick 6 was just a dagger that when it happens, you can envision, okay, we probably lose this game, and that's the play, like where it just turns. Even before the injury stuff happens, your biggest takeaway, okay, before coming into the season, I was so all over the Chargers, and most other people were, but part of why I was all over them was because of Staley. I loved, and I think I'm still going to say that I'm going to stay in his corner. I like Staley a lot. When people criticized the 4th down stuff, I loved it. Not only for the analytics that said it was the right thing to do, or whether or not it worked. Don't do it on your own 18. Let's not do that. But for most of the situations, I think it's such a good thing for team morale. Like we saw it last week when the Giants went for 2 and they pulled off that win against the Titans. That is so huge. And what did Lovie Smith do with the Texans when they were on the 48-yard line in overtime with 40 seconds left? Do you go for it and try to like inspire your young team a little bit? No, let's punt it. Let's play for the tie. Like, that is so frustrating, and I love that part of Staley. That a lot of the people who liked the Chargers but weren't fully bought in because they seemed like already out on Staley and didn't like him. I pushed back on it, but now 2 weeks I see Chargers Nation in a way getting more critical. So what about it do you not like?
The biggest thing for me was, why are we risking Herbert's health for the season for a 10-point deficit with 2 minutes and some change left? Just put Chase in. Let's just finish the game. Let's lick our wounds. Let's get out of here. It's not worth risking his health for. Take him out. Like, it's a 10-point deficit.
Coming into the season, where were you on him?
I'm high on him. I like him. I like the identity he builds with the team, and he's a player's coach, so all the players can rally behind him and really get behind him, which I love. Herbert loves him. The team loves him, and he's a great defensive mind. He calls the plays, and I like it. When he got to this offseason, bringing the pieces that he thought would make the defense complete, it looks good. It looks good. It looks like he has a vision, and it looks like it's playing out. I like the defense. But keeping Herbert in is debatable, and his personnel, who he brought in and who he's keeping in, is really debatable too. And then sometimes after a loss, I just hate listening to him talk, because he says this. He talks a lot without saying much. You know, it's just kind of a lot of
Coach speak.
A lot of coach speak, and I don't know. I really like Staley, and this is going to come off harsh, but he's like a really smart, dumb guy sometimes where it's like, okay, you're saying big words and you're saying a lot, but you're saying nothing, and you're not reassuring the fans.
What is the scenario? Is there a scenario for you coming into the season that he ends the season or he's not the coach next year? Was there anything he could do? Because some people want him gone. It sounds like some people already didn't like him. Now they are getting kind of justified in these first 2 weeks, even though I could say you beat the Raiders, who, again, even after today.
Yeah.
And then you should have won that game. You could so easily be 2-0. And again, like I said, that wasn't we play the Chiefs twice a year. We're used to them. We can hang in with them. They had a rough night on offense, and we happen to be winning, or we beat them. No, that was every single position, maybe even quarterback. We are as good, if not better, than the Chiefs. At wide receiver, at defensive end, at not tight end, at running back, almost every spot.
Secondary.
Yes. So I am still so all in. The only thing that worries me, and we can just, I guess, include this. We probably should start positive with winners. A loser, not the biggest loser of the week. It's not Herbert. I think it's partially Herbert. Hey, why do you still employ the guy who punctured Tyrod's lung last year? He's the one who's working on Herbert.
You want to know why? Because we're a poverty franchise.
He's getting sued by Tyrod Taylor. Did you see that, Deej? Tyrod Taylor's suing the Chargers doctor who punctured his lung when getting the shot that I think a lot of people would have wanted him to take had Herbert come out so that he could come back in and finish the game.
It's pain management. It's routine, but
he punctured his lung, and that's the guy who's training and working with Herbert.
Puncture Herbert's lung because he's giving him the same injection. I'm not just saying this. We are kind of a poverty franchise. It's just these last few seasons we have a rookie quarterback and we're excited and there's a championship window. Of course he's still employed. Of course Storm Norton's still on the roster. There's just little shit like this. Joe Lombardi is still the offensive coordinator because we're a poverty franchise.
That's so bad.
We're a poverty franchise with an amazing roster. But ownership, it'll always come down to ownership. Once Spano sells the team, maybe we'll get a ring. And I mean that.
Yeah, so you've checked your expectations now.
I've seen enough Charger football to know that we're not going to go very far.
It's pretty amazing that last week I said you guys you let the Raiders back in a little bit. You tried to Charger it a little bit, and in the most just fitting way, the Chiefs chiefed and the Chargers chargered. It was just
the fact.
So deflating.
If Staley doesn't get rid of Lombardi, then I'll be coming for his head by the end of the season. Unless the offense works it out, but clearly Lombardi is stuck in 2009. It's horrible. I cannot believe he still has a job.
And he's in Joe Lombardi, stuck in last year. I thought they were going to change it, and they've really just had the same thing.
Herbert's not moving the ball downfield at all. There are no deep shots called at all. What are we? It's, what more can we say? We're beating a dead horse. We're the Chargers.
All right, let's lighten the mood a little bit here. Because my guy, my QB1, the same role reversal that we got in 2016, sign me up for part 2. Trade him. Trade Dak. Get him out, dude. Give me Coop.
He's the future.
He's the future.
I agree.
How amazing is it, though, in all actuality? 2-0. 2 times has he been called to the rescue. First in prime time against, Deej, the Vikings last year. Game-winning touchdown to Amari, 51 seconds. And then first drive today just looks calm, composed, and we tried to cowboy it again at the end. We tried a couple times, scored 7 points first drive, had 17 at half, and then didn't score again until Maher's 50-yarder that I still low-key think didn't go in. They said it was good, and I'm not just going to tell anybody anything else.
Oh, yeah, we're getting out of there.
It still looked to me like it was wide right, but we can move on from that.
due to some circumstances, I didn't get to see most of the 1 o'clock games. Go Hawks. Good game.
Thank God you didn't miss a play of that.
Yeah, exactly. Really good game. Went down to the wire.
Barn burner.
Tell me about Joe Burrow. Tell me about Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I want to hear it all.
Let me just read a couple things to you that will give you.
You
a
saw every play. I
perspective.
want to know. I want to know it all.
Joe Burrow was sacked 51 times last season.
Okay.
And the Bengals overhauled the offensive line. You got Lyle. It was what, Kappas or whatever from
Mhm.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
He's on pace to be sacked 111 times this year. He got sacked 6 times again today. 6 times, 7 times last time. He gets hit so many times, 13 times in 2 games. The offensive line does not look good. It does not look good. Our pass rush is sneaky good, and Micah's might be the best player in the entire league. And last week, who was it last week? It was
Steelers.
Steelers. Yeah, great defense. TJ. So in a way, it's understandable, but it doesn't look good. And you combine it with this Joe's magnet-like ability to almost want to get hit. He can't move like a Kyler, but he wants to and he can, but it's just slower and he takes so many hits. And since he's not the most, whatever it's called, plyometrically, flexible guy,
Yeah.
he gets bent in a lot of ways that make me extremely uncomfortable. It looks like a disaster. And they're now 0-2. And if we want to get to biggest loser of the day, it's the Bengals. And last year, 7 0-2 teams, none of them made the playoffs. 11% of the time do 0-2 teams make the playoffs. We've got the 0-2 and 2-0 teams, and I want to figure out who's frauds, who's real in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But this is not good for the Bengals. This is not good.
No, you can't let Joe keep getting hit like this. You got to protect him. Taking Jamar was a lot of people had a problem with it because you're not taking protection for Joe, but they overhauled the O-line, but he's still just getting mauled out there.
They're in New York next week. And then after that, it's the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Saints, the Falcons, the Browns, the Panthers. Falcons, Browns, Panthers, you get a little break. But then it's Steelers, Titans, Chiefs, Bucks, Browns again, and that one's with Deshaun. Patriots, Bills, Ravens to finish the season. I don't know. It's not good. It's not good. What do you think, Derek?
I agree, because looking at this, they had 3.8 yards per play. So that takes into consideration you have yards after catch. So receivers aren't getting anything after they catch the ball. Rushing game isn't there.
Shout out to Trayvon.
I mean,
Trayvon
just
held
as a
up
whole,
today.
man, they just...
Yeah.
It's a little weird to see this because we all remember what they looked like last year, and this is like polar opposite. I mean, 3.8 yards per play.
I think it's a good reminder that, remember last year, like when they lost to the Jets, like in week 9, and like throughout the season, we wanted to like them so much because they had everything that did eventually get them to the Super Bowl. But they did also feel weird at times last year. We couldn't trust their defense all the time.
No.
Joe was getting hit a lot, and it was only a 10-7 team. It wasn't a team that was 14-3. So I think like we're waving massive sirens. If I'm a Bengals fan tonight, I'm feeling awful.
So it's 11% of 0-2 teams make it to the playoffs?
and in the
all time?
last 3 years,
All
none.
time. So all time
Yeah.
teams that start 0-2, 11% of them.
You have to take into account it's a little different now because we now have a 7th playoff team.
Right.
The AFC's
Okay.
tough, man.
But yeah, exactly.
It's
hard to get
AFC is
in.
Brutal.
It's going to be hard to
That-
get in.
You're saying the AFC. I mean, to that 7th spot. I mean, that's gonna be that's still gonna be a good team. You
Oh,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh,
That 7th
yeah.
spot's still gonna be a good team, and
Probably a 10-win team.
right.
So think of
You'd
that
think.
though now. They have to go what, 10-5 the rest of the way. You have to be an elite team to the rest of the way.
Okay, so you've got the Jets next week, then the Dolphins, Ravens,
And they lost to the Jets last year.
and
the
then you got the
Jets had a
Dolphins, Ravens,
game today.
Saints.
They put up 30.
I mean, you got 3 straight games of some solid teams right there, and then towards
Can we get out of the way real quick? DirecTV.
Fuck you, DirecTV.
Mm.
You.
Figure it out,
I
man.
might have to bleep that. I know we're not cussing.
You're
but
charging $400 to people. that have been with you for 15 years and giving it free to new customers. But you're charging
Hey.
so much money.
I can't wait until Amazon takes over. Oh, no, you're going to be irrelevant.
Bezos. You already know what time I go to bed, what time I wake up, what I eat for dinner, everything I buy, everything I see, everything I look.
I'll give Bezos whatever he wants for Sunday ticket, as long as it's not DirecTV. If I ever do pick up a TV like service provider that isn't like YouTube TV or something like more convenient, it will be anything but DirecTV. As
I
a
signed
result
up for
of
a
this.
free trial of Fubo TV so that I could just get Red Zone back on the TV
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah,
It was a disaster.
we should be using YouTube TV for Red Zone, but
I tried to sign up for a free trial, but I already have, so I couldn't sign up for the free trial again.
yeah.
That was the first one I
You
went
know it's
to.
bad if you're using Fubo.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's bad if you're using Fubo.
But also shout out again to Andrew Siciliano. We'll put his Instagram handle up here. I love him. He's the guy who does the Red Zone for the DirecTV
I
Red
had
Zone
to watch
channel.
him today, and I like Scott Hansen way more.
Oh, did you watch him for the 10? So you watched him for the 10 o'clock games?
Some.
He's so great. The stuff that he says and comes up with, dude, that he pulls out of his. Oh my God.
I'm a Scott
Keaton
Hansen
and I
boy. I'm a Scott
die.
Hansen boy till I die.
Scott does it too much. So, he
No, I
he
love it.
commentates too much. I like that Andrew's in and out with these funny little one-liners, these funny little things, and then he just throws it back. Oh boy, Baker did it again. Just goes to the highlight, and you get to hear the announcer go, "Oh no, what was he seeing there?" So I just love Siciliano.
But
Okay, but the Bengals by far biggest losers today.
Last thing I want to say about the Bengals, if you go look at their schedule, they end the season. When does Deshaun Watson come back?
week
Is
11.
his
Week 13
is it week 13?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
an 11.
His first game back is week 13.
against the Texans. Yeah, funny.
Oh, is it? Okay. I thought it was against the Bengals, but the Bengals in the season versus the Browns, and then they play Tampa Bay, New England, Buffalo, and Baltimore.
Oh.
Do you think that they win?
Well,
I-
New
I
England
mean-
will be easy. They're bad.
Yeah.
That's a loser of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
New England.
disaster.
They had their run, though. It's time. Every team.
In hindsight, let's do the percentage game again for Bill and Tom. I say 75-25. Tom.
You
I
think
wouldn't go that
he was
far.
responsible for 75% of the wins and
Yeah.
all of
What
that?
was Belichick before Tom as a head coach already? Awful with the Browns and okay with the Patriots,
Yeah,
but not great. And he had Drew Bledsoe, who was good. But then he gets Tom.
I think, okay, I agree because, listen, Tom Brady literally won a Super Bowl the first year he was on the Bucs.
With
You know what I mean?
With an elite roster.
Okay, but-
But then look
But
what
that whole roster wasn't okay. I get it. A lot of that roster was after Tom Brady went there. I get it, but that team was still partially built before Tom was there, and they still weren't doing anything near
yeah,
that.
they're 8-8.
Right.
He swings a team by 4 or 5 games.
He's LeBron.
I don't think Belichick swings this Patriots team by 4 or 5 games. I think it's a honestly 5 to 7 win roster that with another coach is a 5 to 7 win roster. He's also responsible for the personnel moves that they make, the spending of players, the just letting people like who was the Jamie Collins go. And then, yeah, you bring him back. And, yeah, he does find these bargain bins of guys who want to come in because they know with Brady that we're at least going to be in the AFC Championship. So, yeah, Chris Long will come play, and you'll get these veteran guys. But drafting has been pretty atrocious, especially at the wide receiver spot, at
Awful.
most skill position spots.
Awful.
They coach, obviously, defensive backs really well and the defense really well, and that's why it's always been their strong suit, but it's always also been when they've had Hall of Famers all over the field, and Willie McGinnis and Ty Law and Rodney Harrison and Teddy Bruschi, and that was just in the 2000s. And then you get the greatest tight end of all time in Aaron Hernandez, and then you also get Rob Gronkowski, and unfortunately you lose one of them for some off the field issues.
Yeah.
But I just think, I think it's a quarterback league, and yes, of course, Belichick is still maybe the greatest coach of all time.
He is.
I think it's just, especially in today's game, now that the ability, I don't know, I just don't think a coach schematically, no, I don't want to say that because that's a stupid thing to say. I don't know. I think Tom is, if you're talking a 20-year dynasty, I think he's significantly more responsible.
I'm close to you. I give it like 60-40 though. Because I'm under the impression that Belichick is the greatest coach of all time.
Because he was also down 28-3. Sorry, go ahead.
I just think that Belichick helped Brady out so much with like them sitting in their office before a game going, all right, they're going to show this. You're going to attack this. And I just think Belichick was able to give Tom Brady so much information. And because Tom Brady is so great, he could use it in a game.
I think he did that himself. I think Brady spent the time at home. I think it's partially why there's some problems happening right now at home.
No,
because he spent so much time just always all in. And I don't think Belichick was as much in his ear, because especially with Josh McDaniels there. I think Josh was with Tom more. I think if anything, Bill was the one calling out Tom in film rooms, criticizing him. And I know it's like, oh, okay, cool. You get to show everyone else, the other 52 guys, that even the cornerback can be criticized. But it sounds like he also never gave him praise. When you hear some of the things that he's already said about Mac Jones, it's nicer than anything he's ever said about Tom. And he was even still reluctant to give Tom credit after he already left, when Tom has called him the greatest coach of all time. So yes, I still think he's the greatest coach of all time, but we gotta give Tom his due.
Okay.
As being much more responsible. This is a travesty what's going on right now with the Patriots. They're awful.
Listen, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I do agree with you, but I think I disagree with a good portion of it. I think Bill had a good amount to do with Brady's recognition of a defense, because Bill is just such a defensive guru. I think Bill had a good amount to do with it. But... Okay. Let's get off of this. Let's agree to disagree, huh?
So much time. How much are we already in? We wanted to spend 20.
17. We're at 17. We haven't even got through it.
One of the biggest losers, though, is the Patriots.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
We've gotten through the Patriots.
They're in a rebuild, and they're going to be in a head coach carousel here pretty soon. This has got to be Bill's last year. No?
We haven't talked about the biggest loser of the day, and I'm extremely sad about Trey.
He's not a loser. It's unfortunate. He's not a loser, though. He lost, but...
Yeah, he lost his
job.
Ankle for months. He's
out
done.
for the year.
Yeah, he's out for a year, man.
I know. That's what I mean. For months, he's not going to be able to use his ankle. And we also lose because I was so excited to watch him. But you know who also loses? All of the talking heads that when they kept Jimmy on the roster were like, what are you doing? This is the dumbest thing ever. Having him in the building is awful. Well, guess what? Now you have an elite roster with a quarterback who just 3 or 2 seasons ago took them to the Super Bowl, and last year we're in the NFC Championship game, and I think winning. Yes, it's a stupid thing to say. I hate that cliche. He's a winner thing, but also it's the most important thing.
He's elite Tannehill, except Tannehill can run.
I'd say he's a better looking Tannehill.
He's a better Tannehill.
Yeah, he's much better than Tannehill. Who are we kidding?
I think
better
he's
Tannehill.
a little bit better. Because
Tannehill
can
just
run.
has the leg.
Imagine if Tannehill had Debo and Kyle Shanahan and a run, and it's the running game, but he hasn't had the offense.
Put Tannehill's legs on Jimmy, and here we go.
True, but put Jimmy's mid-range accuracy on Tannehill, and you have Marcus Mariota. No, but you have you have a real dual threat. Marcus almost did it.
Another loser, Kyle Pitts.
It's really tough.
Kyle Pitts is one of the losers for me. Arthur Smith doesn't know how to use him.
I don't really get it.
Because how does Arthur Smith have a head coaching job?
But it's like, it's that thing that it's inexcusable. The way that we play offense now, if you have a player who's such an outlier on the field, if you're not like schematically getting them minimum 5, 6, 7, 8 touches a game, whether it be a running back or receiver or a tight end like that, what are you doing? I can't wait. I'm gonna hold on to them. I'm not gonna sell on them because I think this is. I would like to think hopefully this would be it. If they can draft a young quarterback and they can maybe they'll redo it with a whole new coach.
Ritter.
Because that team is can so easily be so much fun. Pitts is unreal. London got his first touchdown today. Yeah. He looks really good. Yeah. Cordero is still really good. That's 3 weapons. Like, imagine if they just had, imagine last year, I know they took Pitts instead, but imagine if you had a Fields with those young guys. Yeah. And then if you just had a Mike McDaniel feel of someone bringing in a system that works. We thought Arthur Smith was going to do that.
No. Who, first of all, where did he come from? Who is Artie Smith?
He was from Tennessee. And they had a couple good years. I mean, they were the 1 seed. The running game was
They
elite,
had-
and he made Tannehill look good.
They had
He
Derrick
looked good
Henry.
until that playoff game.
But
Derrick
dude,
Henry
yeah,
makes everyone look good.
I know.
You
And
can-
they had a good offensive line.
you can call
Yes.
You can call an ISO, literally up the gut. Just go give it to him.
I know.
Just give it to him.
Yeah, the fact that
That's all you
never
gotta do.
I've
No,
never
clearly,
been
he looks
high
awful.
on Arthur Smith.
No. Okay,
Never.
let's cut it right here. Let's recognize that we're spending too much on the
Yeah.
Falcons. Another winner. Tuanon, baby. Woohoo!
Yeah.
He is elite. Top 10?
We'll see how it shakes out.
I know. That was so much fun, though. That game was unreal. Didn't look good. Okay, all of the morning games were like 3-0, 3-3. It was really bad for a while.
Horrible
And
morning
just
slate.
all of the fourth quarters, teams scored 28 points. There were multiple teams that scored. The Cardinals scored 22 points in the fourth quarter in overtime. They scored 28. It was 28-3 in the fourth quarter from the Dolphins. That was unreal. Tua, 480 yards, 6 touchdowns. Only Dan Marino's done that. Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, I think Tyreek had like 190 and 170 for Jalen Waddle, both 11 catches, 2 touchdowns.
First time in NFL history that a pair of wide receivers have had 170 and 2 touchdowns on the same team, same game.
It almost was too good that it makes me not as excited. Like, it was almost too good to be true because, like, obviously that's not like realistic at all. And there was still like 1 or 2 balls that he threw that I hated, and he has no mobility to escape at all. Like, when he was still getting pressure, like the play basically ends. So it still needs to work, but like his anticipation, I'm actually dead serious when I say I would maybe want him over Dak. Especially if we had a good offensive line. If the offensive line was set to be good, his ceiling, his anticipation on throws, and like he just leads guys in stride so much that I can tell you personally I don't see, and it frustrates me because it's such a difference when a running back is doing a wheel route and he gets it in stride, or when a receiver is running a slant and you hit him literally mid stride where they can just keep going. He's so good at that. And I don't know, if they can keep the pressure off of him. Coming into today, I didn't feel good because last week the Patriots got, I think it was 43% of the time when they didn't blitz, they still got pressure. So the offensive line, I still have questions on. It was so much fun. I'm so glad we at least got a glimpse of hope that that's what it could be, like close to that more often than not. It was great. I loved
got
it.
one thing on it, and I'm not even hating, but
You are.
No, because obviously those are elite numbers, but I'm just giving credit to his head coach and the scheme they put in place and the players they brought in for him, which isn't a bad thing. Some quarterbacks and some teams just need elite players to come and help out the scheme, but like that scheme of running after the catch and yards after the catch is so perfect for him. Get it to Tyreek in space and let him do his thing. Jalen Waddle in space. They're the two fastest wide receivers in the league on the same team. So Tua deserves his credit. Absolutely.
That touchdown to Gesicki where it was only where he could get it. Like, oh man, that was great.
That whole system is perfect.
A couple
Perfect
shout outs
for him.
A couple shout outs. Mike Evans. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved it. You see Lattimore in your QB's face, and then a shove to
Get
Lenny.
outta here. Yeah.
He just, as soon as he saw it, beelined and just, God.
Yeah, but
dude.
didn't he say that's Tom Brady? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, and I just love that. And when Jameis was there, he would do that for Jameis. Like, Mike is such. If I was a Bucks fan, Mike would be one of my all-time favorite guys.
Him
He's
and
a
Lattimore
dude's
have
dude.
beef.
He's
too.
a dude's dude.
He's a dude's dude.
He's a dude's dude.
Can
Who
I give
balls.
you guys my favorite loss of the day? My biggest loss.
Yeah.
Me and you talked about this earlier, Phil.
Yeah.
On the record books, it wasn't a loss. But morally, Broncos versus the Texans. What atrocity are we witnessing with Nathaniel Hackett?
He's so bad. Him and Joe Lombardi need to hang out.
Listen,
I think they do.
Russell Wilson will be 40 years old. 40. Making $50 million guaranteed. Think about that.
I wished I had that set up so we could call Avery. I really wish.
Oh,
Guys,
He's so mad. There were
Yeah.
some plays that
Yeah.
they ran
6 points in the first half.
against the
Texans.
Texans.
The Texans.
First of all, did you see the video of Russ on Monday? Run pass. Run pass. Hey, 45, call and run pass. Like, just, can you imagine being on a grown ass man on the team, and because you're like kind of down on the roster chart, you kind of feel like you have to do whatever like the quarterback says, whatever he says, and he's telling you to say run pass, like we're in high
like
school,
we're at Lake City.
like unbelievable, so
Cringy.
corny,
Cringy, man.
He's the worst. He's the worst.
It's rad. It's rad.
That was bad. They were in danger all the way up until the end of blowing that game. I don't know what it is. Judy went down. Hackett's bad, and then you combine it with how frustrating Russ can be. Like last week, he should have, when Nathaniel was trying to take him off the field to kick that field goal, he should have went, no. Like, if you're Russ and you're that guy, I mean, you have to have a little leeway to talk to him out of that situation, but you think everything is God's plan. So
That's what I. He's
that's
not.
that's why in the press conference he was like already smiling, because it's like, well, this is just part of the plan.
Like
No matter what happens, it's part of the plan.
he
Okay,
just
cool.
doesn't remind me of like.
can't criticize, can't anything.
I
Just gotta get back in the
love
film.
Russell Wilson hate. This is great.
It's so great. He's just
This is
worst.
great.
He's just not like. Okay, I
We're
know
an
it's like-
anti-Russell Wilson podcast.
We
That's
are.
what we're-
It's been since
man.
last season. We've
Yeah.
been anti
Oh, it's
Russell
been
Wilson.
years.
Been a
I've
long
been on the Devo train for years, but
he's absolutely. He's
I've
the
actually
fakest diva.
I've done a total 180 where I thought he was a really good dude at first, but I didn't give him the credit for how talented he was and how special some of his balls are. And then especially once Legion of Boom and the defense dissipated, and he
Camp.
did have that couple year stretch, the 1 year when he scored, like, that was the year when he scored every touchdown but one. That was just ridiculous. Carried a team still, I think, to the playoffs. And up until the last couple of years, then he's just gotten too far off the rails. Shout out also to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I'm so high on him.
Dude.
I've been so high on him for so
Everyone
long.
has to be now, because it's everything he's doing. Like, we were reading so many things earlier where it's like these things that only these Hall of Fame and like a superstar receivers have done. He's 8 straight games with a touchdown. It's like I think a Lions record, and he's just been unbelievable.
I've been
It's
high
8
on
catches
him. Though.
every game. I think it's however many straight games. It's Antonio, Michael Thomas, and Amon-Ra. And it's just like unbelievable, dude. So shout out to him. Shout out to the Lions. The Lions are fun to watch now. I love watching the Lions.
I got him in my parlay.
You got him in your parlay this week. This is a
They're
funny
fun.
one.
They're fun.
Yeah, Jared Goff, 4 touchdowns today. I don't know what it is, but Swift is great. Amon-Ra's great, and
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, it's great. Shout out to Dan Campbell. Another loser. I have Baker. They're 0-2.
Oh, dude, thank you. I was watching that game today because I had some.
It's bad.
I picked up Baker because my fantasy quarterback luck has been horrible. Dak and Trey. So Baker's on the roster. Dak and Trey. Ooh, I feel good about this year. This is why I don't do
Sick
fantasy.
roster
This
limits.
is why I'm retiring. This is my last
Yeah,
ride.
you said that yesterday, and then Trey breaks his ankle.
This is my last ride. I hope I lose every
Last
game.
ride.
I'm not doing any
ride.
punishment in any league.
Last ride.
Go fuck
Last
yourself.
ride?
Last ride.
That's rad, baby.
Last ride.
No punishments will be done by me.
Fantasy football.
Come find
That's
me.
right.
Last ride.
Last ride.
Hold on, real quick. Colts against
Baker
Jags. Shout out for the
huge loser, Colts.
shout out
Oh,
for
the Colts are such a big loser.
first
They're
time
so
being shut
bad.
out since 2017.
Should Frank Reich be on an extremely hot seat?
Yes.
Dude,
Come
he's
on,
not
man.
good.
No, this team is bad.
I think
we
we-
thought Carson was the problem. Like,
Yeah.
oh, get a quarterback and they're in the mix.
And we thought Frank was
No.
the guru in Philly. Maybe it was more Doc, or not Doc.
Doug.
Doug. I wanted to
Doug.
say Jock Peterson, and I said Doc because I knew it was Doug.
Doug.
Doug Peterson. Yeah, because the Jaguars look great, and that already looks like a system. And a big winner of the day
Oh,
is the other end of that Colts game.
the Jaguars.
I love watching
man.
the Jags.
I
We get to
texted
watch
you about the offense.
I'm happy watching the Jags and the Lions now.
Could
Life
you,
is good.
you imagine saying that 6 years ago?
Oh my God. I know. If you would have told me what's more likely, Trump will be president or the Jags will be watchable, I would have taken Trump easily, because I never thought it would ever happen in my life, ever. And the Lions have just been a disaster. They're more watchable now with Jared Goff than they ever were with Stafford, other than maybe the prime Megatron days. Those were fun.
Fun, but not good.
And I mean, the Lions aren't like good or anything, but I don't know. I guess they were putting up big points. They were watchable with Stafford. I think you just knew what you were getting all the time. And this is just like a young team. And I love Dan Campbell, dude. I love him. Great. I love
It's hard
him, love
not
him,
to.
love him.
Another loser, real quick. Just want to throw it out there. Las Vegas, baby. Just win.
Oh, and
gosh.
2.
Just
Outscored 29-3 in the fourth, including overtime.
That division is like, it's quickly from where we thought it was like maybe the best
4
single
playoff
division of all
teams?
time. Yeah, 4 playoff teams to 2 teams that are not good. And, man, yeah, that's bad. And I think the Cardinals, even though they won, if I'm a Cardinals fan, again, and I'm a realistic Cardinals fan, I'm wanting this year, I'm chalking this year up as a disaster. The end of the year schedules, pull up the Cardinals schedule and look at their last 6 or 8 games. The end of their schedule is so hard. And the beginning of the year is already tough because you don't have D-Hop. I would be chalking it up. I would almost want Kyler to get some type of injury that isn't serious, but then he just is out and we end up with like a top 10 pick.
So any Kyler year ever where he has a knee
Yeah,
thing? Where he's
yeah.
questionable?
Probably just play your game normal.
Yeah.
Did
just
you
do your
see?
thing. Play Call of Duty?
Did you see any of the end of that, like highlights or whatever? Did you see the 2-point conversion where he ran for 86 yards?
I watched the basically whole end of the game.
So you saw the 2-point when he scrambled forever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was crazy. He still makes those magical plays. And that
Yeah.
touchdown he threw to win the game,
Mm-hmm.
that window, remember that he slid that into?
Yeah.
Holy, if they just had D-Hop and like, that's a
Yeah.
team that this year is not fun to watch and really frustrating, but holy cow.
Fix your secondary. Get
Cliff.
D-Hop back.
Get Cliff out, dude. That's another guy.
Yeah.
Get Cliff out. And
He's-
even though you just extended him, just cut the leash. I would respect a general manager so much who can just get up at the podium. Like if I said today the Broncos should just fire Hackett. Fire Hackett today. 2 games in.
Agreed.
The Lakers fired Mike Brown back after a 2-8 start.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was D'Antoni. Yeah, it was D'Antoni. But because they knew, okay, we're just gonna cut bait right now. We know this is awful. We're just gonna admit it. This was a huge miss. And I said, Nathaniel, like LaFleur must have lied, like when they picked out, or he's a beautiful interview. But holy,
Aaron Rodgers got him the job.
I don't
That's
know
how it
what was the up for debate worst play of the day. The Seahawks put 4 running backs on the field. Did you see that play?
I think
It was 4 running backs on the field, no quarterback, and it went. It was a they all like went. It was like an option play that turned into a pass, and I think it was DJ Dallas threw it, and there was not a receiver within 10 yards of whatever linebacker this was who just was like, "What the?" and he threw it right to him. And then Pete Carroll's looking at the scoreboard like, "Wait, how did that not work?" And you're just like, "Oh my god!"
That is a Pete Carroll play is 4 running backs in.
Seriously.
It
Or
was-
Javonte Williams, who's averaging 1 million yards carry today, was a beast. And it's like a 4th and 2, and they give the ball to Beck. Beck on like a sweep option. It just didn't work, and
It's
you're like,
blown up.
"Oh my god!" An absolute disaster.
Hackett's a loser.
The Cardinals end the season with the Chargers, Patriots, the Broncos, the Buccaneers, the Falcons, and the 49ers.
You know,
Some
I read
winnable
that.
games.
I guess it's so funny. Now, even 2 weeks in, like the Patriots game, we don't think is as hard. 49ers.
Broncos.
I guess 49ers still. Yeah, Broncos all of a sudden.
49ers is tough, man. They're tough.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, how often has there ever been a starting quarterback break his ankle and you're literally maybe more optimistic?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
so weird. I think we did. We pretty much hit all of it.
Okay.
I said my pieces.
Raiders, not just the loss, and that they're 0-2. I did also include. I know the Ruggs pick looks bad for a different reason other than his play on the field, but even more so,
Slow down.
the receivers they didn't.
Speedster.
The receivers they didn't.
Quick on
I
and
thought you were
off
talking
the
to me.
field.
I thought you were saying I was talking too fast.
Talking about Lightning McQueen.
Watching Jalen Waddle and just realizing that they took Henry from Bama over Jalen
Yeah.
Waddle. Ugh.
Yeah, well, you know,
Oh wait, no, that was a different draft. That was 2 years. Oh no, I was thinking Judy. The fact that they took him over Judy and CD.
Well, are we?
swing and you miss.
How do we? Are we really that high on Judy?
Broken collarbone.
Yeah, no, the collarbone sucks.
Well, actually, hold on. Let me confirm
I
that.
was.
I don't
I
know.
think when I saw him not just the touchdown. First of all, the touchdown last week when he caught that and just took off. I think I think he's someone. He's like just needs to be unleashed. And
Well, what's it gonna take?
He got hurt today. I thought it was
I guess
this.
staying,
and
I guess
he had a
staying
big
healthy.
game.
I guess staying healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's had big games, but I mean, he gets open too. He's got.
I mean,
a
you can't judge.
Really good route tree.
Yeah, you can't judge last year at all. Any of his tenure.
Just so many. I just saw so many drops from him, but that's just something some young guys just got to get out of their head.
Yeah.
But sure.
Okay, we're going
Raiders.
to scrap guessing the lines. We each have gone through week 3 games. Let's talk through it. And it's time. Biden possibly might be canceling more student debt. Huge developing story. But we already know. We talked about it. I don't know if we put any of that out. But Biden, thank you again. I was with him since day one, dude. It's so nice. He's finally coming through for me.
Yeah.
We have $10,000, boys, that we are playing with. So we are going to come up with $1,000 on 2 $500 parlays, and we're betting the big bucks. So we need to take this extremely seriously, and let's go through the slate. Right out the gate, I love the Ravens in New England. They're a minus 168 money line. I think the under 2-1 favorite, I love. I also love the Chiefs money line. No, spread minus 6.5 in Indianapolis. I think the Chiefs murder the Colts because I think the Colts are awful, and I think the Chiefs should be the favorite in the AFC. The third one I'll give you before I hear 3 of each of your guys's is the Bengals. They cannot go 0-3. They will not go 0-3. They're in New York, and it's an under 2-1 game. I can see it being very frustrating and us being just so angry that we bet against Joe Flacco and laughing while saying that. But I like those 3. I like the Bengals, I like the Chiefs, and I like the Ravens a lot. Thoughts on those 3 real fast before you give me yours.
Bengals won't make sense.
Okay. You like that one the most?
Yeah, you kind of have to because they're not going to go 0-3.
No.
Not to the Jets. They're angry. They want to win a game. I like that one.
Jamar. Jeez. He's going to
Mm-hmm.
so many yards. Ravens.
I like the Ravens as well. What's money line?
So money line is just win. Just a win. The spread is always going to be, so you see how like if you look at the Bengals Jets game, it's minus 4.5. And
Yeah.
then under that it says minus 110.
Yeah.
So that means they have to win by 5 or more. If you go to the money line, they just have to win. But obviously your odds are going to be not as good because they can only have to win by 1.
Yeah.
So if you like the spread, if it's a number you like, a 6.5, a 2.5, a 9.5, whatever it is, then you can take the spread. I think the Chiefs are going to kill the Colts. And rather than taking the Chiefs money line at minus 290, I'll take them to win by a touchdown and get minus 115. It's better odds.
Okay.
So what are a couple that you have down?
Okay. I like San Francisco going into Denver.
Okay.
I like Jimmy. I like the team. I think they could pull it out.
Okay. And it's still a September game in Denver. I know today was bad, but usually the Broncos in September are cover machines.
Sure, but I like it.
Okay.
We're betting.
Okay.
Joe gave us some money.
$500.
Yeah, Joe gave us some money.
Okay.
He gave us the money back. It's free money.
Okay.
Miami going into Buffalo.
Just to win?
They're going to put up points. Yeah. I'm not talking spread or anything.
Miami going into Buffalo. Mason's just the leader of Tuanon.
We're having fun.
You think he's
okay?
going to go? We're not having fun. We're trying to pay for the rest of my tuition. This is extremely serious.
And it's fun. And if they upset,
And it's fun. It's still
Losing money
fun,
is fun.
Phil. It's still fun.
Watching Tua under pressure is fun.
okay. And then
Which, speaking of actually of that Bills and Dolphins game, the spread's only 4.5 to the Bills, which is kind of low for. I would think that's a little
We'll have,
higher,
to wait,
but
we'll have to wait until tomorrow. What if the Titans run
yeah.
all over the Bills and maybe Josh doesn't look great on prime and or that Mike Vrabel gets his defense, hyped up and they play well? All of a sudden, maybe who knows? Maybe that comes down even more. Which if it gets to 2.5, we'll just take the entire 10,000 and put it on the Bills minus 2.5. But okay, one more.
and then I'm looking at these other games.
I don't like either of these picks Mason has given so far. By the way, I don't know about you.
I'm not.
So far, his 2 picks are Jimmy on the road and Tua on the road in Buffalo. Then again, if I hate him, we should probably bet with him because we'll probably win.
Yeah, how have your bets gone?
It's
so
not
far?
very good.
Yeah,
Lost my ass today. Shout out to the Bengals.
Okay, and then I liked Green Bay going into Tampa Bay.
That's next week.
I actually have a couple of these.
I like Green Bay.
I have
Such a hard. Why are you picking the hardest game?
I have the Packers going into Tampa Bay. I like them at +3.
Yeah.
I like the Cowboys at +3 against the Giants. I think that's
I
kind
like
of a
money line.
steal.
I like money line.
What's the money line on
They're
that?
underdogs. It's +1.
Oh yeah, dude, they're
It's
plus
plus
140.
140. Okay. Do we
Yeah.
like the Cowboys a lot? Did we? No.
Do we?
No.
One
Do
more.
we?
If they
No.
no.
I also like the Eagles -3 against the Redskins, and no, I won't say Commanders. I'm saying Redskins. I don't care. They've been
We're gonna get
Redskins
words.
We're gonna
They've
get
been the
canceled before we get
Redskins.
going.
Since I was a baby. Okay.
PFT does it, dude. If PFT calls them the Commanders, just buy in.
No, Joe Theismann broke his leg in a Redskins jersey.
That's
I'm gonna
true,
say
but
Redskins.
that's true.
He
They can both
retired
be
a
true.
Redskin.
We can still say that.
So damn it, I'm saying it. This country was built on the backs of the Native Americans, so I am going to
Yes,
honor them by saying the Redskins.
No, because exactly what you said. It was built on the back of Native Americans,
Exactly. Yeah.
not
So
Redskins.
what do you? Isn't that the same thing?
No, which is why they changed it.
What is a Redskin? I thought that was a.
That's a derogatory term.
It's a
Oh, it's saying like
derogatory
their skin is
term.
red.
Yes.
Okay. Well, when you look at it a critical eye, sure.
Yeah.
But
But
you don't have to.
do you think if we just
you don't
had,
have to.
do you think if we just had the Baltimore Blacks that we would have changed it by now? Probably.
Yeah, that is blatantly racist.
But what we did to the Native Americans is almost
It's
It's
horrible.
awful, so we should change the name entirely, which is what they did. I loved football team personally. I thought it was hilarious.
Well,
I thought it fit
I
the
like
team.
the Commanders.
The Commanders is warming up to me. I
Cold
still like
take?
the still like the C words. I like the C words.
it's
Shout out to
cheesy as
Joe
fuck.
House. Put his Instagram.
The
name.
Commanders. Okay, that
But you'll
sounds
get
like
used
something.
to it.
Yeah, football
It's
names
better
they're football.
The
teams.
Redskins, dude.
That sounds
That's
like
not
the
good.
team name that Dwayne the Rock Johnson played on in Game Day.
You just have to get used to it. It's
The
really it's not a
Commanders,
big
you know,
deal.
it's
and
like,
you can still say that
yeah,
Theismann got hurt in a Redskins uniform. We still say that Bruce Jenner broke the Olympic records. That's
True.
okay to
yes,
say.
he did.
That's okay to say. And now Caitlyn gets to look back on those times and be very happy with her performances. Both are true. Both can be true. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you like the C words?
No. No.
you
no.
like
no.
Philly.
I like the Eagles go at the C words -3. I like that. I think the Eagles
have-
are much better.
I have -4 on FanDuel, so I don't like that. I think they're much better, but you haven't watched enough NFC East games. I would call this one a stay away. Because Washington is frisky. They score a lot of points. The Eagles just gave up 1 million points last week. We don't know what happens if the Eagles give up 45 to the Vikings tomorrow. And they've just given up 38, 35 plus in 2 games. You don't think Carson
To the
Wentz?
Lions,
A little
done
revenge? We got a Wentz revenge game next week, boys.
Got a-
He's going to throw at least 4 touchdowns
got a
and 3
Wentz
picks.
revenge
Maybe.
season.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. That one would scare me. If it was at 3, I could buy in a little more. 4, I don't like because
Okay.
I've seen it too many times.
Do we like the Chiefs -6 at the Colts?
I love that. I have 6.5 here, but if it's under 7, I
mean,
want to hit this tonight if we can. I want to bet this tonight if we can.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Before it
If we can
changes?
get it at 6.5, I'd love that. So okay, so we love Chiefs. We all love Chiefs. 6.5
Sure, yeah,
in
I like that.
Indianapolis.
I like that.
This is going to be the week that Matt Ryan's just great.
I
So that's
know.
going to be sick.
Matt Ryan revenge game.
How do you feel about the Ravens, Deej? Or what's another one that you like that we haven't said yet?
I like the Raiders against the Titans.
No.
I'm staying away from
In
that.
Tennessee or
It's in Tennessee, but dude, -1. Come on.
it shouldn't be favored.
Okay, then let's do. I do agree that the Bengals cannot lose this game, but
All the money this week is going to be on the Bengals. And usually that means, but guys, this
Guys,
has
that
to be the one. They can't go 0-3.
their O line is so bad it's not going to change.
But other than Quinnen Williams, who's not even on the
who's
Jets
coming-
to rush,
Yeah.
they've played again. The Steelers front with Cam Hayward, TJ Watt. Like, we really like the Steelers defense, and the Cowboys defense has now gotten pressure 2 games in a row a lot. Like, this could be, and come on, it's the Jets. It's the Jets, dude. Flacco has played the Ravens or the Bengals a lot. No, we like just a win. Just a win. If they blow this for us, then we'll cross them off next week, and we will say some extremely derogatory things towards the mini Bengals. Do you guys know a Bengals fan?
Yeah. I know one.
I do
No.
not know any.
But he's not.
No, I don't.
Do you have another one, Derek? I like the Lions +7 against the Vikings. NFC North games within a touchdown a lot of the times I like, and I think the Lions score points. I'll have to see your defense tomorrow.
Yeah.
But there were times,
Yeah.
again, even though the Packers didn't score a lot of points, I mean, they should have had one immediately. Should have had 7 points immediately. Like, there were a couple of windows where the Packers could have gotten into the 20s. So, like, we can't fall in love with your defense yet, and we've seen the Lions put up points.
Right.
And again, tell me about how Vikings-Lions games go over the years.
Well, last year we were their first win, and what? How many wins did they get last year? Two?
Yeah.
2? Yeah, we were one of them.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't describe what kind of games those are,
Different team, though. No.
but it's usually always like you're saying, usually high scoring. 25 to 30 points apiece, somewhere in there. Typically,
over-under is 51.5.
it's in Minnesota.
Yep.
So, and a lot of teams have said that it's pretty hard to play there, only because it's huge.
Yeah.
And it's loud and it's
No.
annoying.
I found out, I heard them say on whatever broadcast, the Packers one, they also built that stadium specifically in a way to trap sound.
Mm-hmm.
The same way that, like, the Seahawks have.
Oh,
What's
yeah,
crazy is Arrowhead is as loud as it is, and it's basically wide open.
It is wide open,
Didn't
dude.
you go there?
Oh, yeah. My first NFL game was Broncos Chiefs.
Oh,
Tyreek's rookie season, dude.
regular season?
Regular season. It was
Broken arm.
yeah.
Pre.
Pre-broke. This was rookie Tyreek.
Yeah.
This is when who was their
Pre-broken.
Alex Smith. Alex Smith was their quarterback at the time.
Yeah.
It was a
Alex
fun
Smith?
game, man. It was
Yeah.
loud as shit in that
Oh, yeah.
stadium.
Oh, that game.
Super loud.
Wasn't that a
believe it.
Sunday night game?
Mm-hmm.
What a game.
Yeah.
Super
Your
fun.
first game.
It was super fun. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like 15 rows up too. It was pretty sweet.
Were your ears just ringing from it? Was it like
Yeah.
that loud?
There were times where like it got that loud, but like it wasn't loud enough the whole time because the Chiefs shit on them. I mean, Simeon checked in the ball game, so
Wasn't that Brock?
yeah,
Oh.
So great.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brock.
yeah.
Legend.
And then he got hurt.
I've got a
or-
picture with
He got
him.
hurt or they pulled him. I can't remember. He
At
was
Lake
either
City.
playing atrocious or
Do you remember that?
when he went to Lake City.
When he
yeah.
threw
yeah.
to JD and Cozy, who
Mhm.
runs the worst routes. I have such a funny video of Brandon running a 10-yard out, and oh my God, it's just a wheel, dude. His stop and turn is just a wide roundabout.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so funny. It's literally like he's going through a roundabout to turn right, but the wrong way. That's what it is.
Fuck,
Okay.
I knew I should have said the Lions. I wanted to say it, but I didn't want to get fucking crucified. I was like,
No, this is a pro Lions podcast. If we're
Yeah,
gonna be we're gonna have many identities, many genders here on this podcast. We are a pro Lions podcast.
gotta get a Amon Ra up there.
We might. This might just have to turn out to be a receiver wall. I have seen the last 2 weeks, and I thought about it again today. There are so many good receivers. Deontay Johnson has made 4 or 5 ridiculous catches this year.
Yeah.
I've seen already 3 or 4 one-handers that if I would have seen 5 years ago, like I've seen, I think 4 catches this year better than Odell's one-hander. Like, it's insane. I love, again, Mike Williams. And I heard someone say since he's coming to the league, which 2017, is it really already his 5th year? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or 6th? No.
Yep. Well,
It's so crazy. I
2017, yeah.
think if you would have asked me, what year would you have thought Mike Williams is in? I would have said 3rd or 4th because I would have said he just got his
He just
extension.
blew
No,
up
'cause,
last year.
He played with Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun got drafted in 17. So yeah, this is probably his 5th or 6th year.
Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun?
Yeah, he played with Deshaun.
Clemson.
Played at Clemson with Deshaun Watson.
Oh, I thought you meant he got drafted.
No,
and
no,
played
no,
with
no,
Deshaun.
no, no,
I was
no.
like, are we talking about?
No,
Hopkins?
he got drafted the same year
Yeah,
as,
yeah.
as Deshaun.
Yeah, no, I just don't remember. God, Clemson for a while, ever since starting with Sammy Watkins, was just pumping out guys.
Oh, yeah.
Watkins, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Martavis. Remember Martavis? He was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like this wall. I do like the jerseys a lot.
We'll get a little
But
Amon
Amon-Ra
Ra up there.
He's just there's so many
I'll
good
DH it.
receivers, dude.
We'll get
I
the
love
gray
it.
one.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get the
one.
gray Amon Ra.
Like it. We do need a Lions.
Beyonce.
Yeah, tribute. Okay, Derek, do you have another one? I cut you off probably 7 times.
Oh, no, you're good. No, I think we covered it. I mean,
Rams minus 4.5 in Arizona.
I think we stay away from that.
Why?
Well, after week
like
one,
it.
watching the Rams, and then after watching what the Cardinals just did, I don't like that.
What the Rams? Yeah, but we were watching that game when the Cardinals should not have won. The Raiders just gave that away 9 different ways.
Right. I mean,
Just win, baby.
But
Yeah.
4.5 is a weird number. That I'm not really that comfortable with in a division game. And the Rams almost blew that.
Right?
That was one that it was 14-3 early. It was pretty bad early, so it kind of we changed the game, especially once we had money on some of the other ones. We just threw those on the TVs, so it only came back up when Red Zone would pop back up, and just all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's a 2-score game. Then Cooper Kupp fumbles, and then they're driving again, and it was really close. They almost blew that against Atlanta. So yeah,
6 point.
yeah, I'm taking that off. I do have over 47.5 points in Jaguars Chargers. I don't want to pick a winner.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No?
I would stay well clear of that. I think the Chargers defense is gonna hold them.
You think so?
If I can be confident about one thing on this team, oddly enough, it's the defense.
I would agree with you there. I think your defense is definitely
I think Staley
tier.
can if we can get in Patrick Mahomes' head and make him look uncomfortable, I don't think Trevor is gonna look that great.
Do we know the status of Herbert? Because
Day
to day,
He's going to play.
I know he.
Give him a shot. Hopefully, don't get the long drum.
I also,
Hopefully.
yeah, right. I also read that Jerry Jeudy did
How
not.
nervous is Justin going to be when he's sitting on the table?
gotta be so
The
nervous.
guy walks up and
All right, Justin.
I would
try
have
not
to
move.
I would have to be like just sit there and as he's going that's in the right spot, right? I
You're
would
the
have
guy
to
that.
ask that.
You're the guy that almost killed Tyrod Taylor, right?
He's like,
Yes,
He
Tyrod's
almost killed him.
suing
He was in the ICU.
Yeah, Tyrod is suing him for $5 million.
Good.
He's the one taking care of Herbert
right.
Good.
with
Right.
the same injury.
Well,
try not to cough, Justin. That's what got Tyrod.
looks like I'm trading Herbert this week.
Yeah. So,
Jerry
yeah.
Jeudy
All right, I'll take
possibly broke his
Yeah, take
ribs.
that
It is not his collarbone. It is his ribs.
that. Oh, okay.
So,
So a month.
I mean
Depending,
that
yeah.
that's what I just read. I don't know. I don't know if they know how serious that is, but probably a day-to-day kind of thing. Let's see what's up.
Herbert's day to day too. So
Right.
I'm
We'll
going to
see.
try to find a way to shout out Tony Romo in every single podcast. So
Sure.
I would like to take this time to remind everyone of an amazing game in San Francisco when the Cowboys were down 27-3 and Romo broke his ribs and went back into the locker room, got x-rays, had 4 broken ribs and a punctured lung, wrapped it up, came back out, led a 21-point comeback, took him to overtime, and then threw a beautiful screen pass to to Dwayne Harris, who took it 70 yards to the 2-yard line, and we kicked a field goal to win. I think it was a week 2 as well. So shout out Tony.
Shout out
Rivers
Tony.
I have so many early quarterback season injuries. Dak broke his ankle in week 5, got hurt again. And Romo broke his collarbone the first time, or he hurt his back the Dak rookie year in the preseason. He broke his collarbone twice in week 8, both times. It's ridiculous.
Rivers
Yeah.
played on ribs too, but did not look
Should
good.
we start the 2-0 teams and 0-2 teams?
What are we at on time?
We are at 54 minutes.
Okay.
round.
Let's hone this in. Broncos 49ers real fast. 43.5 points over under. I like the under.
I like the under too.
43.5. So 43. So that's a 20-17 game. 23-17 game.
I like that. I like that.
Okay. We don't like the Cowboys money line +140. I don't know, dude. I kind of think our defense will
I do like that. I like that. That's
mean-
the Sunday night game.
Monday night.
Oh no, that's Sunday night.
No, it's Monday night.
It's Monday.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh wait. Okay, no, you're right. I'm reading this backwards. Sorry. You're up.
It just
you're
went
right.
down. Live odds just changed.
136.
Yep. Money's already coming in on the boys.
I just don't.
People are betting the Giants.
Primetime Cooper Rush.
He's 2-0.
I mean,
I don't want to
What-
bet on them though.
wasn't it prime time when they played Minnesota last
Sunday
year?
night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think prime time is going to be a question.
Listen, I told my brother, he asked me for a prediction. I said, my head says we'll lose. My heart says I know this team and they're going to win today just to get our hopes up. Like, we beat a good Bengals team. What if the Bengals are just bad and we just happen to beat a kind of mediocre team?
Yep.
Like, I think they're going to get our hopes up today and then we're going to lose next week to New York because that's a very classic thing for us to do.
Especially in prime time too. Like that's when it would happen on the main stage.
Right. And but I think the only reason that I didn't necessarily think that after, and of course, it's just getting so happy that we pulled that off. I didn't actually think it was ever going to be possibly true. But our defense might just be really good again. And if we're going to get pressure like this, I think you pressured Daniel Jones. We've seen what it does. I think Daniel Jones has fumbled how many times? More than anyone since he's started.
Yeah.
And you're going to have Micah coming around the edge.
And what's really on the Giants offense besides Saquon, I guess.
It's
What
Sterling
threatens
Shepard.
you? What threatens you?
Kadarius Toney is scary. And he did have 189 yards against the Cowboys before he threw a punch to someone, got tossed in the fourth quarter last year.
And then that was the last of him all year.
Yeah. But that was because he got hurt. And
Mhm.
but he's
Is
playing
he
now.
healthy?
I
Yes.
think he is, but I don't think he's done anything crazy in the first 2 weeks. Otherwise, we would probably know about it.
Yeah.
So I kind of like money line. I
agree.
Here's the thing: if we
Let's
don't
ride.
include it, we can
Cowboys
get.
Nation, let's ride.
Okay, this is what's
Go
going to
boys.
sway you. The Ravens money line, Kansas City Chiefs. All right, hold on. This is going to be hopefully for the clip. Our cover 3 parlay of the week: the Baltimore Ravens money line in New England, the Kansas City Chiefs -6.5 in Indianapolis, the Detroit Lions. We're heavy on the road teams. +7 in Minnesota. We can still maybe take that one out. The Bengals money line in New York. We've taken so far all road teams. Under 43.5 points in 49ers Broncos, which I kind of love. That is 15.5 to 1. So a $500 bet would win $736. If we throw in Dallas Cowboys money line, an underdog on the road in New York, that $500 will win you $19,000. You go from 15.5 to 1 to 30, almost 38 to 1,
Just by throwing in the boys.
just by throwing in the boys.
Let's throw in the boys.
Do we
Throw in
ride
the
it?
boys.
We ride it.
Go boys.
A 6-leg parlay. This has no chance of hitting. The Dallas Cowboys money line, under 43, Niners Broncos. Bengals money line in New York. Lions +7 in Minnesota. Chiefs -6.5 in Indianapolis. Baltimore money line in New England. All right, I love it. $500 to win 19,000.
Paying that tuition.
Locked in.
Yes, sir.
Locked in. Beautiful. Okay. Let's go to 2-0 versus 0-2. I want to go through each of those teams and pick out frauds or whether we not.
Okay. Starting with the 2-0 teams heading into week 3, we've got the Dolphins, Chiefs, Giants, and Bucks.
Giants are frauds.
Giants. That's another reason. Are they going to be 3-0?
No. Probably.
They can't be 3-0.
They probably. I saw them at 2-0 today, and my jaw kind of hit the ground. It's like, wow, the Giants are 2-0.
So your jaw's going to be taking a journey to the center of the earth if you see him at 3-0.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
There's no way, dude. There's
Probably.
no way.
Yeah, probably not.
Dolphins are not frauds, but
they're fraudy.
But they're not the Bucks or the Chiefs.
No.
That's pretty clear. Bucks, I almost had as a loser today because
Almost.
Jameis threw like 3 picks in the last quarter, and like one of them was a pick 6, and the other one they got inside and they scored immediately.
Yeah.
They had 3 points almost like the whole game, and Brady was so livid, and nothing was working. I know he doesn't do it well against New Orleans, but it's 2 games that the offense. I mean, we only scored 19 against the Cowboys last week and looked bad today. So it's to be determined. I know Mike Evans is playing banged up. No Godwin. I know. And the offensive line and everything. But
And, okay, but
I
those are all
like your
reasons
Green
why
Bay
they're-
pick. Do we not throw in Green Bay at plus 130?
who they play? At the Bucks.
No.
That's my bet.
Yeah. If you go
We could take out what was the one that we were
$500 would win 44,000 if we add Packers money line.
If we add the Packers, we need to remove one or the other because there's no way we're gonna hit. I mean, come on.
That's a 7.
Do we take out under 43.5 points 49ers Broncos
I like that
or Lions plus 7?
Personally,
Lions.
I personally think you should take out the Lions just because. I mean, listen, if they're gonna,
Yep.
they're gonna, excuse me, they're gonna get within 7 points. I mean, I think they're gonna win the game if they get it. If the game gets within, I'm
So you're
just from watching the
saying money line?
Vikings. Yeah, man, yeah. I don't know.
You throw the Lions money line in there and it's 500 to win 83,000.
Oh my god.
Did you see the bet yesterday? The $7 bet? A guy had a 23 leg parlay, $7 that would have paid out a little over 1 million. And there were 2 left. He hit the 1 and it was like A&M over and he cashed out cuz it was I think 200 and something thousand that he could cash out at and the last one hit. So he would have had $1 million
That's
win.
still $200,000.
But
That's
still,
what he said. He was
man.
texting with the BR guy, the BR betting guy, and it was like they posted him. It was just like I have to cash out like $200 would change my life. And then texting after it, he's like, "God damn it, why did I do that?" 'Cause he
Yeah,
had
but
to
you got to
be a millionaire.
Yeah,
before
but
taxes.
you know, you're smart, man. Take
Very
that
smart.
money, turn it in, make yourself a millionaire with that money you just won.
Yeah, so we'll take the Lions out, and we'll find a way. We're probably gonna break these up, and we'll do a nice little 500 on one, 500 on the other. Like we'll pick 3 and 3. But as a 6, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals, under Niners, Broncos, Cowboys, Packers. I like some combination of those. Those are the games that we all really like. So 2-0s we hit. Chiefs favorite.
Yes.
Bills are probably 2-0 after tomorrow. Also right in there. And the Vikings I think Vikings win tomorrow. You guys? Yeah.
I mean, of
obviously.
course, I'm not gonna
I mean,
say.
yeah, if the Lions are putting up 35 on them, I don't think it's outlandish to say that the Vikings handle this one.
I mean, just watching the Vikings play, I get it. You know, Packers. I say what you want about their defense. I still think the Packers have a legit defense. So it's something to be talked about when the Vikings literally kind of walked on them a little bit. I mean, they literally did whatever they wanted, and there was no point in that game where I was like, "Oh, we might lose this." It was like,
Yeah.
our
But was that
offense-
more because the Packers couldn't move the ball? Because you guys, while it did feel like you could kind of move the ball whenever, what was the final? Didn't you only finish with 20
It's
points?
23-7, but
Yeah.
I mean, that was just if you watching the game, we just literally ate the clock up.
No, I know
that's
what you
all we
mean.
did was
You
we
never
just-
felt like it was in danger, ever.
not once. Our defense looked great.
Yeah.
I was very, very impressed watching them play, and the pressure that we got on Aaron Rodgers, I was like,
So 2-0 Vikings, we think are kind of legit.
Yeah.
We'd be more
It's a
so
good
legit
team.
than we are frauds. What about the
Yes.
0-2s?
0-2s. We've got the Bengals, Panthers, Raiders, and Falcons.
Falcons.
The only one that could come out of that hole is the Bengals. The rest of those are typical. The Raiders, I know other people will think maybe they still can because everyone was so much higher than we were on them. I thought easily last place. The people who said they could win the division are the most clicked on the
Those are the
internet.
Raiders fans that are on house arrest.
Yeah, or just
kinda
the people
hanging
on
out.
TV that I get sometimes they're trying to have a take because you got to have a take and whatever. But like that's just bad. And like to even think that they're better, I mean, I guess they might be better than the Broncos, but that's only because now we don't like the Broncos at all.
I still think the Broncos are better though, in my humble opinion.
I think they should be. I think Hackett might be so bad that they won't be.
But on
'Cause
paper,
it's
like looking at the
disaster.
rosters.
No, yeah,
and the
exactly.
Quarterback,
Should be for sure.
quarterback too.
I agree, dude. The Broncos
quarterback-
should be 0-2.
Each of them in their situations right now, it looks even. Russell looks bad. And the sidearm baseball things he's trying to do,
Yeah, what are you doing, man?
I don't think he went to training camp this year.
Well, yeah.
So he must because he tried to do the Mahomes thing and it looked like Tua.
He looks lethargic.
He does.
He does. He looks
Maybe it's the
lethargic.
altitude.
Could be.
Maybe it's, well, you know what? I didn't think about that. He's lived on sea level for like the last, 15
10 years?
Peyton was in Indy in a dome, came to Denver and set records.
True. I don't think that's a good excuse.
Yeah, I guess,
We'll just have to wait, dude. It's all part of the plan.
Yeah, I don't know. The
All
Raiders
right,
are a
so-
true 0-2 team in my opinion. Also a hater, but
Yeah,
I
think
can say that.
I think yeah, Bengals are the only team that are
Yeah.
possibly not.
Yeah, the Falcons belong there.
Yeah.
Clearly. Yeah, okay. I'm good with that.
All right. Okay. I think that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Kept it to around an hour.